Alexa, stop playing music, please. Mr. Smith.
Yeah, what's up? What's good? What's happening? Welcome to the King and Me show. I'm one half of this thing, King.
Hey, y'all. It's me, Michelle. How y'all doing?
Hey, the King and Me show is a live stream in which Michelle and I offer a real outlook on a healthy relationship, real being relatable,
Entertaining
accountable,
and loving.
We hope y'all are doing all right today, as it is Monday, December the 9th. There is about 3 weeks left?
Baby, I got 9 working days left in this school year. Left in this left in this calendar year.
Yeah. What you got planned for the rest of the year?
Ooh, me and my boo thing, we going on a nice little trip down to Alabama.
Roll Tide.
And then sleep. There's sleep on my agenda.
There's some sleep involved. Rest is important. I really hope that you do get the chance to get that sleep.
We both know I say that, but I'm not really going to do it.
I don't get it. I don't understand it.
You don't understand what?
You sometimes.
Life happens.
We hope y'all are doing all right. Look, y'all, Michelle and I have been doing this live stream here for about a year and a half now. How long?
Year and a half.
Okay. And we're coming up towards the end of 2024, and we have an announcement to make.
We do?
We do.
What's that?
While my longest relationship was 14 years, somebody is now in their longest relationship as of today.
Yay, it's me.
She had this realization a couple of days ago, right?
No, I've known about it for a couple of months, because that's me.
What? Wait, what?
Yeah, I've known
Why
about
it. Why am I last to find out about stuff that's going on in that noggin of yours?
Because it's...
You didn't want to jinx it?
Pretty much.
You know what? That's fine. I understand that.
Yeah.
So her and I were talking about something, and then she was like, well, you know what? Since we're talking about XYZ, and she told me, and I knew it was around 2.5-ish, just from conversations that her and I have had in the past. But when she already knew the exact date, I was like, wow. So we made it. Yay.
Yay! And then I found out some devastating news today.
Oh, what's the devastating news that you found out?
I found out that you don't like Aaliyah.
I didn't say I didn't like Aaliyah.
You said Aaliyah can't sing.
I said Aaliyah couldn't sing. And we need Free T up in here to either agree or disagree. So
Free T, who do you agree with?
So when she comes on,
okay,
we need to make sure that we ask her if Aaliyah can sing or not. I have some Aaliyah joints that I rock with for sure. The ones that were produced by Timbaland. Oh yeah, primarily because they were produced by Timbaland.
Better known as Aaliyah. Give me goosebumps and high fevers. Make them play haters, believers. Don't you know what? Gotta tell somebody. Cause I really need somebody. Tell me you're somebody.
But to say that Aaliyah could sing, has she ever done a national anthem?
First of all, homegirl didn't live that long. She died when she was 22.
People have done national anthems when they were a celebrity before a certain age. So I'm just trying to figure things out. Hey, okay, she just came on. All right, so
Free T!
we were just talking about you. We need you.
My divine non-sister. I need you to...
No, don't include that.
What is the madness?
I can't even properly judge. Honestly?
You know what? This is me flipping the table over.
Why?
I don't even know why.
Do you not listen to secular music?
Okay, that's the reason I can take that.
But if you...
if she says she does, and then that's not the reason... Because, like, it can't be an age thing, because, like, she's around our age.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So while she types this in...
Devastation.
She found out this just before we went live. And y'all, I've bumped Aaliyah. I don't think I bumped Aaliyah around you. I play Aaliyah. Aaliyah's play. But to say she can sing, she said, I know her music, but I'm tone deaf. That's fair.
That's fair.
Yeah.
She can sing now.
Okay. Sure. Well, we'll see what the interwebs say. So... today's live stream is going to be a little bit different. As y'all know, we've talked about on our live stream that when relationships are good, you really don't hear about it. People will post online all the lovey-dovey stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, we together. And you see the stuff on Instagram, Facebook, things that people would choose to share publicly if they're public sharing people. But when things are going bad, like where do you find good information? Right. Or somebody that you can really ask questions to really try to help out what's going on inside of your relationship. I used to cringe when people said that relationships are hard. Because in my mind, I'm like, but they don't have to be. Yet, it is my opinion that people make their own relationships complicated because of varying degrees of things, right? So if you are familiar with Reddit, I've talked about Reddit. We've done some Reddit type of content things here. Mm-hmm. You will see thousands upon thousands of people a day write questions about relationship stuff, asking for advice or seeking other people's feedback, genuinely wanting help. Some stuff you kind of have to decipher if they're trolling or not, but Reddit has become a go-to source outside of like couples counseling or therapy that people either want validation for or answers for. So what we're going to do is go through some Reddit relationship advice stories and give our 2 cents on what the person might be asking about. All right. So I have brought up several Reddit posts that I've saved, but I'll be honest with y'all, I have not read them myself. So Michelle and I are going to be reading these for the first time and giving our honest opinion or advice on what we would say to this person asking us. Again, we are not trained experts in any of this stuff, right?
I'm a pro at everything I do. I don't know what you're talking about. You must be speaking for yourself.
Okay, I will speak for myself.
I'm a pro at everything I do.
But that is my disclaimer. I don't need nobody going out there saying, but the King and Me said that if my relationship had this, then we should be doing this. And we will make some suggestions, absolutely. So with that being said, that is the gist of our live stream today. Free T said, I have an idea for y'all too. I'll send you a Facebook message afterwards. Boom, please do. Thank you. We take all ideas and all feedback. Faux shiggity. All right. Now, we're streaming across multiple platforms. If there's a like button on the platform that you are watching this from, do us a favor because people forget this one. Hit that like button. That helps us out on the algorithm, right? How do you spell the word algorithm? Say it. I don't know. I think I'm saying the word right. Algorithm. Anything more than 3 syllables, my Alabama accent sometimes can't get out.
And sometimes my Baltimore/Jamaican accent rolls some things and it just don't be sounding right. That's why Roll Tide comes out so easily.
No doubt. So we will get through. I got several of these. We'll get through what we can get through.
I don't know if Jay is watching, but his negativity is not going to work for me. This is what he said in response to the post about you saying Aaliyah can't sing. I don't know if I said, King said Aaliyah can't sing. Michelle said those are fighting words. What y'all think? And this was his response.
Yes. He said, I mean, with a gift, it's true though. This is what I'm talking about.
Maybe he's saying it's true to me.
No.
I think he's saying it to me.
No. All right. Now, Michelle.
King.
In our past live streams, we've both shared several thoughts about things that can derail a relationship. Do you remember or recall some of those things? Like certain subjects or certain areas.
Lack of communication.
Okay, boom. Yep.
Financial issue.
Mm-hmm.
Things related to sex.
Yes.
Yes.
And those are typically the three pillars, right? If a relationship is going good, then there's varying degrees of good communication, good physical intimacy, and good financial understanding between that couple. Mm-hmm. When things are going bad, you can likely tie it back to any one or several of those three things. Now, the Reddit post that I found are related to those. So I figured they would be a good candidates to go through and dive into.
All right, so let's get in.
Jason did respond on YouTube. He said, Aaliyah looks amazing, but sounds mid if we being honest.
Y'all are, what?
He said what he said.
Y'all are some haters.
So let's get the first Reddit question up here and let's dive into it. So this one says, my biggest annoyance with my fiance is always around money. How do you handle finances with your partner? What do you think about the word partner?
Well, a couple of weeks ago, we talked about treating dating and relationships like a business. In which case, if we are going to treat it like a business, then the term partner is appropriate. I don't care. As long as you mind, you mind. Like,
okay.
There we go.
All right. So a 33-year-old female said that her fiance and her have an annoyance, her annoyance around money. All right. So she starts by saying this. My fiance make 2 to 3 times more than I make, but we are a 50-50 couple. And I feel like he nickel and dimes me for everything. He says that every relationship he's been in has been a 50-50, even if his partner had no job. And he was making $300,000 a year or more. Cold-blooded. Man. On the other hand, this is my first 50-50 relationship. And while I'm used to relationships where whoever makes more, whether it be me or the other person, pays for a majority of the stuff. Here's some additional background. He lives in an apartment that is shared with his dad, and the cost of living there is very low. His monthly expenses overall are very low. On the other hand, I have 2 kids, a mortgage, and a big SUV lease. Let's just stop there. She's laying out the foundation.
She spends more.
But right now, I'm not sympathetic to what she's bringing up here. And she hasn't even gotten into the meat of what's going on.
What? Okay, go ahead. I'll save my comment for later.
All right. He keeps a running tab on stuff that he's paid for and that I owe him money for. This includes stuff like car parts and him fixing my car, computer equipment, so that he's given me and my kids, and some other big ticket items that he's got. And pause a second for production fixes. All right. Now, she says that I pay for it on my card, and he takes half of it off of my tab, in addition to me giving him extra money when I can. I agreed to 50-50 in the beginning when I really didn't know his income, but after being with him for 2.5 years and realizing how much he makes and how cheap he is being with me, and every time that he asks me for money, I get angry. An example, last month, we had 2 big vacations and Father's Day and at least 4 birthdays in our family. I'm reading what she wrote here. Some stuff I kind of take some liberties on. I told him a month ago that I cannot afford to give him money until after the trips, and I would prefer not to use my card for everything during the trips and just take it off the tab because I can't afford it right now with all of the vacations. I ended up putting over $3,000 on my credit card for these vacations, and he only paid for dinner once and gas once. We went on a road trip, and I paid for everything and used my card. To add it all up throughout the whole trip, he was asking me, when am I going to give him money? It's not like I can ever go on a long period without paying him for anything. This is only because of the vacations and events we had planned that I had to budget myself for my children. I'm going to see if I can skip some things here. All right. It's so bad that when we went on vacation with my family, they noticed it and they think that he is using me for money. He says it's just his anxiety and that overall he is more of a frugal person, but I noticed that he's adding every little thing on the tab. Recently, he started something new that is really infuriating me. If he pays for something, he will now ask, if he pays for something, he will now ask me if it's going on the tab or are you going to give me the money from now? I don't know what that means.
Let's skip to the bottom.
I just told him to just put everything on the tab and I'll give him some money when I get paid. I'm going to scroll down a little bit more.
In other ways in our relationship.
Right here. Where am I at? I'm looking for it. In other ways for our relationship, he's very generous. He gives me a lot of time and attention, cooks and cleans for me, buys random gifts for me and my kids, etc. But boy, does he add everything to that damn tab. What methods have you used in these situations? So, okay. It's my opinion that what he's doing isn't wrong.
Okay, so here are my thoughts. I'm not going to say he's right or wrong. What I'm saying is why would you agree to a financial distribution of money or an equitable distribution, not equitable, an equal distribution of money when you didn't know his income? Like that to me is not smart. That's like signing any legally binding agreement without reading it. If you're going to say, all right, let's split the bills 50-50, I should know what you're making before I make that decision.
All right. But 50-50 means 50-50, right?
Well, no, but I'm not just saying 50-50 in general. I'm saying any breakdown. So
Gotcha.
Let's say they decided 70-30. Like you can't make any of those decisions until you know what the other person earns.
I don't disagree with that at all.
So that's why I'm like, that was her first mistake. You agreed to 50-50 without knowing how much he earned. Because at the end of the day, you agreed to 50-50. Whatever else happens is whatever else happens. You agreed to 50-50 and you shouldn't have agreed to that 50-50 until you knew the financial situation.
Mm-hmm. It's baffling to me that she did just that and then was like, wait, this dude makes $300,000 and has significantly less expenses. Now all of a sudden it's he can do more while in this relationship.
No, that's not fair.
No.
And I go back to you agreed to 50-50. Now, if you had known that, well, honestly, it wouldn't have mattered when you knew it. I still would have said you agreed to it. If he lied about it, that's something totally different. So let's say she earns 100,000, all her expenses aside. Let's say she earns 100,000, and he explicitly said to her, "I earn 100,000," and they agreed to do 50-50 because they earned the same amount of money. And then she finds out that he doesn't earn that he actually earns significantly more. Then okay, I would say you have some recourse. But you didn't ask how much he earned before you made that agreement, and then you made that agreement. Respectfully, all of those expenses are your expenses. Them pitneys, they yours. They not his. He is not legally responsible for them unless he adopts them. He's not legally responsible for them. It's not on him to pay for that. You shouldn't have agreed to 50-50 without having that financial conversation before making that agreement.
Bingo.
And that's just the way it boils down. I'm sorry, I don't feel sympathy.
Yeah, same here. Now, real being real, this is a conversation that before Michelle and I move in together, which I'm not afraid of doing that, right? That's a conversation that her and I are also going to be having. There's going to be a sit down and a financial talk about how that's going to look like, right? And when that occurs, it's best to put like all the cards out on the table. And there's this trend that's going around. It's we listen and we don't judge. If you haven't heard it by now, it's this trend that's going around where a couple will sit down and they start out by saying, we listen and we don't judge. And then one person will begin to say something that the other person likely didn't know about. And then you're supposed to hear it and not give any judgments. It's stupid. But people are doing it. And there's been some really hilarious outtakes from it. That's all I'll say about that. So
no clue what you're talking about.
So to close this one out, I think Michelle and I both can agree that before you enter any type of commitment like that, where there's going to be some commingling of finances, you should really understand the income and expenses of what the other person. And there shouldn't be anything left out. If it's going to work, it needs to work with other people knowing exactly what's going on.
So 3C's familiar with it.
She is familiar. She said that trend is so embarrassing, especially for the women. To speak about that trend specifically, what I've noticed is that it plays on the dynamic of the man will say something and the lady will judge, whereas the woman will say something and the man won't judge for it. It'll just be like, okay, all right, that's not bad, or whatever. Like, you're supposed to just say it, acknowledge it, and then move on. And then the other person, does the same thing. But I've seen too many, I'll say maybe 6 or 7 out of 10 in that trend where the lady will wholly judge what the guy has said. And I'm like, that kills the spirit of what it's supposed to be about. That's why I don't like it.
Somebody send me a link of something, because I have no clue what y'all are talking about, and I feel so lost.
We listen and we don't judge. I mean, I could bring it up real quick. Actually, no. We'll go ahead. All right, so this next one here. Ooh, it's titled Relationship Gone Wrong. Let me share the screen. And then, nope. All right, there we go. Man, it would not pop up here. All right, so this next one here is titled Relationship Gone Wrong. And it reads as follows. My ex wants me to pay her back all the money she put towards bills while living with me. Is she entitled to it? First of all, I'm not a lawyer. Michelle is not either. Just on the title alone, no.
This is so random, but let me tell you, if teaching don't work out, I know exactly what I'm about to do next. I'm about to become a judge.
Yes.
Did you see that link that I sent you? Mm-hmm. So I can be a judge in our county's orphans court, which, sidebar, has nothing to do with kids. It's about orphan property. I can be a judge in there because it is a mediator, essentially. It's not someone that requires having gone to law school or taken the bar. All I have to do is get elected. Next campaign.
All right, bet.
Go ahead.
So this person said, my ex and I were together for 6 years. The last 4 years were spent living at a house that I purchased in my name only. And this is the guy talking. She is not on the mortgage. Since living in the house together, we split the bills based on income, roughly 60-40 with me paying the majority. She would write me monthly checks to pay her portion. A week before I was going to propose, I found out that she had cheated on me. We broke up immediately. I am kicking her out, but she is demanding that I pay her back everything she put towards the house and bills for the past 4 years, which is about $60K. Is she entitled to this money? She is threatening to sue me if I don't pay her. And he added, the state we live in does not have common law marriage. So 6 years together, 60-40 split. his name on the deed or the mortgage. They had a 60-40 split, and now she's demanding, after she got caught cheating, that he pay her back money that was put into the house. No, no, and no. Legally, we don't think so.
So legally, my question would, well, I agree with you. No, I wouldn't give her anything. But what I would say as far as legality goes, did they sign anything? Was there any type of document stating that this is what she was going to pay? And he said they broke up immediately and he is kicking her out. I don't know. I look at it and I'm just like, number one, what records do you have that she paid? I come back to paper trail because the same thing is said in nursing as it is in special education. If it's not documented, it didn't happen. So how does she pay for things? Did she do transfer? Did she give cash or whatever? Because I would claim it never happened. That's just me. But I say that because if it's not documented, like this is why dating contracts come in handy. If you all didn't document that she was going to pay this amount, then some sympathetic judge could lean in her favor and say that you need to pay her back this money. But on the flip side, if y'all were supposed to be spending a life together, then it's just money lost.
And I'll say this too. This is why I'm not saying that it's important to keep tabs, right? But generally speaking, men don't really keep up with stuff like that. I can tell you one person who does, and his name is Sean. Sean keeps everything. All right.
I'm telling you, he does.
But it has worked out in his favor because if he were to enter into some agreements with somebody, some of these people haven't done what they said that they were going to do. And it's had some financial repercussions on him that he has had to handle. I say this for anybody. I don't care what the relationship is. Put papers on people so that you have a clear understanding of what y'all agreed to.
I agree.
If Michelle came to me and said, King, I know that we talked about this, but you know how your memory is. So can you sign this acknowledging that you read this so that we've got this documented? I'd be like, absolutely. Absolutely. If it was something that, we had talked about and that I agreed to. Because just talking about it is one thing. But where do you have proof that she came to you and said, hey, you know what? I know we're in this relationship. I'm not on the deed, but I would feel more comfortable if I'm going to be paying for a certain portion in equity in your house that I would get a cut, barn separated. And if there wasn't anything about cheating in that clause and y'all had it written up, stamped, and all of that jazz, what's the word? Notarized, then you're not entitled to anything.
And see, that's the thing. I think some people are so afraid of us becoming a litigious society that they do dumb stuff that ends up making us a litigious society anyway. Why wouldn't you sign any type of document stating what it was going to be like, what it was going to look like, how you all were going to break down? Why would you not have that in writing somewhere? Like, that to me doesn't make any type of sense. I would not move into, because of the family situation that I have, I would never move into someone's home without move into a home without putting in writing how it's going to break down. Never.
And you shouldn't. I wouldn't say that to anybody.
Because that's like the same thing that happened in the first one. Like, a lot of situations can be avoided if you put in writing how things are going to go. I'm telling you, our dating contract,
necessary.
Folk don't know. Like,
I don't get people, well, but if you love me, no.
Baby. I do. I love you, King Smith. I love you so much. But something we both love is our peace and peace of mind. And this is one way to ensure it. So let's do this.
No doubt. Now, the next one that we have is titled, I just got married to my husband, but I don't know how to process it. Is this normal?
I may not have a response for that.
Well, why not?
Let's see.
Okay. So this 25-year-old female is married to a 25-year-old male. She said this is the second month of us being married, and I don't know if what I'm feeling is normal because I always hear about the honeymoon phase where you're excited and everything is new and wonderful, and it just feels like anything day, don't get me wrong, and it just feels like, I don't know, and it
Any
just feels
given
like
day?
any given day, don't get me wrong. I'm genuinely happy how he treats me. Wonderful. He's wonderful, and I have no issues with him. Did people graduate school? Anyway, I love him dearly, and he makes me feel safe. I have a lot of trauma, which is why I mentioned this. Pause. Jay, I already know what you would say at this part.
Oh, of course.
All right, continuing. And he does everything right. And of course, like any other couple, we have our tips here and there, but I feel like I should be happier and feel more, but I don't. And I feel like I'm doing something wrong. But I've also communicated things with him, and he's told me it's okay, and I don't feel like it is because I didn't even cry or anything like a lot of brides do. Oh my goodness. Oh, you know what?
That's why I said I don't think I'm equipped to answer this.
I was just really calm and content, but I feel like that's not normal, and I'm not sure how to go about it. We've been together, and throughout the years, we've been through a lot, mostly because of his family, but my family absolutely adores him and outshines that issue. I just don't know what or how to feel because when I met him, I thought no one would ever want me or care for me like he does. But I found him, and I feel like I'm going crazy. I love him so much. I just don't know how to process anything to be completely. I'm at a loss. So I just want to know if this is normal or if anyone else has been through this. First of all, lady, you need help.
It sounds like you shouldn't have gotten married, respectfully.
And I say that in the nicest, sincerest way possible. You need help. If you write how you just, if you think through things, how you just talk through this, like, I don't even know where to start with that.
Honestly, it sounds like she got married because she thought no one else was going to love her, which if that's the only reason you got married, you shouldn't have gotten married.
You shouldn't have gotten married. I really hope that whoever typed this was today. This was today, 9 hours ago. I really hope that unloving unicorn, look, unloving unicorn, it's in the name. All right, I'm going to talk to the men for a second.
Go.
Fellas, I'm going to tell you right now, if you come across somebody that is as self-loathing, self-deprecating like this person is, do not approach. I don't care how curvy, I don't care how fine, I don't care how she smells. Do not engage, do not approach, walk past go, don't collect $200. Because I'm telling you, without help, without therapy from a licensed professional, you're going to have more headaches in this marriage than you're going to have good times.
Yeah. Honestly, it does not sound like she is happy with herself. And if you are not happy with yourself, you cannot be happy with someone else.
Nope. That's really it for that one. I'm going to check the comments to see if anybody has anything to add to this one here. All right, nothing to add. So we're going to get to the next one. Oh, I think there was a comment. My bad. Nope, no comment. All right. This one I wrote down, I don't have butterflies. How do I leave? It wasn't necessarily what the title was. Oh, no. They deleted it.
Oh, no.
They deleted it. Is there a way that it gets saved? Let's see. Blah, blah, blah.
Not blah, blah, blah.
She deleted it. Man. All
what
right.
What was it about?
I wished I remember. So if I wrote this down as I don't have butterflies. How do I leave? Okay. The comments tore her up.
Okay.
Basically, this was somebody that was saying that she's with this man. He does all the right things. Intimacy is there, but I don't get the butterflies around him. He will sometimes say or do things that annoy me, but when I bring it up to other women, they're like, wait, what? You got a loving man that loves on you, adores you, takes care of everything, apparently is good to you physically. What's the problem?
What do women want?
And because the comments didn't validate her, she deleted it. Yes. Oh man. Okay. So I'm gonna have to get a different one. So that's a lesson too. That once I do these, just leave it up.
Yeah.
Or screen record it. Yeah. This one says I'm numb. Ooh, I'm numb to the thought of marriage. All right. So we're on the marriage tip right now. Let's see what this next one is. So this was written from the perspective of a man. And this guy said, a 29-year-old male said that his 29-year-old female and I've been together for 8 years. And he titled it, How Can I Marry My Fiance of 8 years If I Feel Numb? Yikes.
Wait, how old are they?
But they're both 29. I'm in an 8-year relationship and we're about to get married in 2 months. Before I even read the rest of this, what I believe this one is, this is going to be a guy that he wouldn't have gotten married, but she wants to get married. And it's my opinion that she's the one pushing it. And he's just kind of going, okay, but really he doesn't want to. And he hasn't said that to her. So this one goes back to communication. When I haven't read this, y'all, but I guarantee that that's what it is. All right. Let's see. All right. He started off. I don't want to get married. I feel like I've lost feelings and I'm not on the same page as my fiance. I don't feel excited one bit about any aspect of marriage.
The marriage.
Yeah.
Nah, that's a key word.
It matters. Okay. Yeah. Of the marriage. All right. I haven't since the moment we told our parents that we want to do this. But is it we though? Maybe it's because it was never my idea to begin with. She initially asked me, rightfully so, around year 6 when I was going to tell my parents. Wait, based on what? When I was going to tell my parents? Like, did you agree to marry her for her to bring that up? Because you don't just sit down when you haven't really talked about marriage and just all of a sudden be like, so babe.
Hold on, let's keep going. Let's see what happens.
I told her I wasn't sure and not ready at the time, but she said that there's never a right time. I agreed and thought to myself that as we tell our parents about each other and meet the families, start the wedding prep, etc., that I would be more warm towards the whole idea. It's been the exact opposite the last 2.5 years since we made that decision. Now that we're so close, I feel really anxious and I haven't felt a single positive emotion towards the idea of the wedding. Been barely involved in planning it. Every time it comes up, I try to change the topic, etc. We've been doing long distance for the past 3.5 years, and in the beginning, I would miss her and want to visit. But as time passed by, it became easier to just spend time away from her. I'm gonna come back to that. I didn't look forward to meeting her the same way I used to, or goodbyes weren't as hard as they once were. I even looked forward to returning to my own life and routine, which I've grown so accustomed to. I feel like the distance over the years has made us drift apart to the point to where I don't feel the same way I once did about her. I'm so conflicted because I love her, but I'm not in love with her. I don't want to hurt her by canceling everything, but I can't get into the marriage feeling this way. If I could magically make her fall in love with someone else instead of me and marry that person in 2 months and not feel any bit of sadness towards this would be an easy decision, but I can't, and I really, really, really don't want to hurt her. I just feel numb/trapped and don't know what to do. Well, here's what you should do.
No.
Cancel everything.
All right, so here's why I said words matter. Number 1, you wanted to skip the word the. He's not numb to marriage. He's numb to marrying her.
Why?
So you're going to say it's because she trapped him. But coming down here, she probably did. But she said, thought to myself, as we tell our parents about each other. They had a long distance relationship. So it's not that they were telling their parents about the wedding per se or the marriage or the engagement. They were telling the parents about each other. So when she was going to tell her parents, where he was going to tell his parents. So apparently the parents didn't really know about her or the relationship for 6 years. Number one, sis, if in 6 years of being with someone you ain't met their family, he don't want to be with you. What was the name of that show? He's just not that into you. He's just not that into you.
Shawanda said, "Why?" Shawanda. I want to make sure I say your name right. Why are you being silly, dude? Hey, I'm telling you, I think that this guy is story time with King.
All right, go ahead.
When I was coming out of my marriage, one of the things that me and my ex-wife were talking about doing was buying a house. I never wanted to live in the state that we live in permanently. And to me, buying a house meant that. I didn't see a way of being able to get out of the state that we're living in. And she was pushing heavy about this house. And I lamented, but I never said no. So to appease her, which I tell people, you don't do things just to appease somebody else, right? You state how you feel about something, and if you don't agree with it, and there's no compromise that can be met, then maybe that relationship is done. All right. So if a relationship should be about compromise, right? I said that very specifically because her and I talk about what
he don't believe it.
What it means to compromise. So as we were taking each step towards the home buying, right? Getting a realtor, putting down the earnest money, all of that stuff. Every time that step moved an inch towards her getting the house that she asked for, I would get tighter and tighter and tighter. And our marriage at the time wasn't the best. So it came to a point where one time I just couldn't get any sleep. I woke up sweating. And what I learned about that was that later on is that was what anxiety looked like. I had anxiety about buying this house that I did not want to get, but I was just doing it for my then wife at the time, and was like, you know what? No, And I finally said something, was like, I don't want to do this. And when she asked why, I explained it to her. And initially, she didn't like it, but when I talked to the realtor, because I was afraid about losing this money that we had put down too. But at that point, I was like, I didn't care. We did get that money back and we got out of the contract and everything. But we were literally maybe 30 days from moving into this new home. And I am so glad because a few months after that, we got divorced. Not because of the house thing, but
I was about to say, like, are you sure it wasn't because of the house thing?
Several other stuff that got built up. Shout out to my main man, Greek Pete. He said, hey, guys. And he said, wait, guys, you don't love me? My bad, brother. I was going to get to you, man. Hey, Pete, we appreciate you tuning in, man. Pete's a content creator. He's on a grind. This dude streams like 6 nights a week, it seems. But go over and follow his page as well. He does some pretty good social content stuff over on Sparta HQ Network on YouTube. Now, I believe, so back to this Reddit story. I believe that she's insufferable. I think that when he gets around her, she sucks up so much energy that he's like, is this how things are going to be every single day? He got used to being by himself or whatever his current situation is because they have a long distance relationship, that the thought of him giving that up and her being insufferable, he didn't write this. These are the invisible things that I'm putting into this. It's my opinion that she's insufferable and he just doesn't know how to admit that.
It seems like, if I'm reading this correctly, he was good with it.
Yes.
And in the beginning, he would miss her.
I mean, Early on, when the relationship's good, it's good. This is one of the things that Michelle talked about early on in our relationship and in general. When we decided to get official and make things serious, I always said two things towards the beginning. The early stages are great. They're great for everybody. You don't agree to go, typically, you don't agree to go into something if you don't genuinely like the person, right? But people fall out of love over time for whatever reason, or they get bored, or what generally happens is that one person doesn't keep up the end of what they talked about. So when you do a bit of a bait and switch like that, it's understandable that somebody can go, this really isn't what I signed up for, and they choose to bounce. I don't fault them for that, right? So it sounds like he got past that honeymoon phase that the previous Reddit post that we read didn't have. Or maybe she had it earlier, but thought that the title, because they had been together for a while, right?
In the previous one?
Yeah.
The previous one.
I don't know if they talked. They said married for 2 years, but I wonder how long they had been married for 2 months. I can't recall if she had said how long they had been together.
I don't think
prior to the marriage. Because, to me, just because you put a title on something, it should not change how y'all feel about each other just because a title changed.
But that's the thing. I think some people do equate that title change to feelings of being stuck. And when you equate that to that, that's when you run into issues.
Yep. So the advice that I would have for him, be straight up with her about that. Now, as the recipient of a marriage, she's not going to like it. And she's also likely not going to tell you, well, cancel it if you don't like it. Her end goal is to be married, it sounds like. But you should communicate to her how you feel and do it now. And don't care about the money that's being lost and the planning or whatever if it doesn't work out. This sunk cost is nothing compared to what would happen if y'all don't work out and then there's a kid that's now involved and now you've got child support, possibly alimony, and half of your stuff gone. Just like that. Eddie Murphy, half.
I look at it this way. If he's taking this time to write this post, and can you scroll up to the top? He wrote this 2 months ago. That man is probably married. Can we go to his page and see more?
Let's see if there's an update, because some people do post an update. So let's see. Post here. Nope.
No,
he posted in waiting to wed, seeking advice. He posted here, and that was it.
Dang it. I was looking for it.
You know update. What? Let's check and see the comments if he gave the comments in the update or the update in the comment section. So we scroll down. Not there. Let me see, because this one has a lot more comments to it. So let's see if he gave an update. Please give an update. I will ask him if he gave an update. She knows everything that was mentioned in this post. We spoke about it. Therapy is what we've decided because she thinks we can make it work. I'm willing to try because I can't bear the alternative and see her broken. Bro, you big dummy.
In this part, therapy is not going to make you fall in love with someone.
You big dummy. You dummy. Oh, man.
Divorce will break her more. I like that comment.
Yeah. Oh, man. What happened?
You clicked something.
I was trying to expand this. All right, so somebody gave a comment and said therapy isn't a magic bullet to solve this in under 2 months. Of course not. But it's still better than ending things. No. See, this is why we're having this. This is why we're doing this Reddit post. There's nobody in real life telling him that, brother, if this doesn't work out 10 years down the line, you will laugh at the amount of money that you could have saved versus what you will lose. Nobody's telling him that.
If you could have done this, go back. If you could have done that initially around the 2 years ago when you first encountered those feelings, you could have had a chance because then you were being more proactive. Now you're being reactive and are down to the wire. You literally had years of engagement that you dreaded where you could have gone to therapy. I agree.
Agreed. And I'm gonna scroll fast to see if he added any additional context or gave an update. No, this was 2 months ago. I'm sorry, other posts aren't getting the same helpful comments. I got single one-liners in another subreddit on the exact same post. So I guess it's just a matter of who comments. All right, so this person wrote something super long here. Who's a top 1% commenter, which is, man, they stay on Reddit.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, it means that they stay on Reddit and comment on a couple of different things and get upvoted by people for offering good advice. Can you update us on how the breakup went? I hope you have sense. Hope you've seen some sense in the past 9 days. Leave her. So he didn't give an update.
He didn't give an update.
And I can tell you why. It's probably because he married her.
Put a ring on that thing.
See, Free T got by. We scroll down, but we don't scroll up. Free T. Remember when we talked about TD Jakes?
Yeah.
I forgot that Cat Williams named TD Jakes in that Club Shay Shay interview.
Okay. Right? Time out. Flag on the entire play.
Uh-huh.
Can we take a moment to give an entire shout out to Cat Williams? Cat Williams, I need to, because I be feeling lost. Cat Williams, y'all. This man sat in Club Shay Shay in January. What was it? Like January 2nd, 3rd, 4th, something crazy like that.
It was to kick off the year.
This man sat up in there and he was sitting up in there with his little drink, you know, getting his whatever, sitting on the edge of his chair because he was sitting like this. He was sitting like this, right? Mm-hmm. He was up in there talking, and all of us looked at him like, Cat Williams, what's going on with him? Like, what's going on with him? What he talking about? What he talking about? And this man, I promise you on everything. I had a religious joke. I'm not going to make it. Yeah. But I promise you on everything. This man was prophetic about 2024 in celebrities.
Yes.
This man called it. So unless he put those wheels in motion, like unless he slid a couple coins over here to this person and to this person to set them things in motion, that man is prophetic. Mm-hmm. Y'all need to go talk to him about some lottery tickets and whatnot, because this man laid it all out for y'all. Like, who does that? Everything he said was going to happen this year happened.
Mm-hmm. And it's crazy because some of the initial comments before the rest of 2024 went down talked about how he named names. And it's one of those things that people don't do is, you don't really want to, because you don't want to burn bridges. He's like,
this man was like, let me tell you, 1, 2, 3, he named names.
Now, I think that this is a question to ask that's related to the type of stuff that you and I do and the content that we do. It's my opinion that being able to do what he did is so freeing. Like I talk about living like a free agent and things like that. It is so freeing when you don't have to censor yourself.
No feeling like being free.
And you can just say and do what you want in the context of being a free person.
Look, I'm thinking of the Destiny Child song, since we are talking about, Jay-Z and all of them. There's that song that says, ain't no feeling like being free when my mind's made up and my heart's in the right place. Yeah. And they were talking about freedom. And I feel that's what Kat did. Kat was just like, I'm going to be free. Free as a jaybird. And just like let it all hang out. He just let it all loose.
It's a beautiful thing. Like, for example, for me, like, what you see is what you get.
And I like it.
Thank you, baby.
I like it. I love it.
Like, there's nothing
more of it.
Oh, yeah. There's nothing that you can say or do to me that isn't anything that is going to bother me, because I'm a free human being and I value I value what that freedom offers me. I don't care about what opportunity that I could lose because of, we'll give you this, but you got to kiss the nanny goat. No, I'm not kissing no nanny goat. I'm going to be authentic, and whatever's for me is for me.
Mm-hmm.
Plain and simple.
See, she understood my Destiny Child reference. Thank you.
Ooh, where are we at? 754. Wow.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
Look at all these other ones that I have. I can save some of these for later. Maybe this is something we could do on a certain cadence or something. Let's see. Let's do with. Let me see if I can scroll. Ooh, there's this one. Let's see.
Oh, I'm struggling with money.
I'm struggling with money. He buys a Rolex. I think this one was real short too. So
it was not.
It was not.
But it does come with an update.
Okay. Let's do this one, and then we'll maybe do about 2 more. Or we'll just kind of let the time dictate.
All right. Let me read.
Wait, you got problems with my reading, babe?
I just read like a northerner, so I read
problems with my reading.
I'm a northerner.
Go ahead.
According to y'all.
Go ahead.
All right. How can I, 32-year-old female, explain to my 33-year-old male partner that I don't struggle for money that I shouldn't struggle for money whilst he doesn't? So that I shouldn't struggle for money while he doesn't. How can I explain to my fiance that I shouldn't struggle for money while he's not? I am 32-year-old female, and I've been with my 33-year-old male fiance for 4 years now. We have always had different values around money, and now it's causing a real issue in our relationship. From a young age, he's been very money-driven and has done well for himself, investing in properties and other things, meaning he has several streams of income and a large amount of savings.
Okay.
When I was younger, I wasn't that great with money and regrettably lived month to month. I am now much better with money and have a small pot of savings, but it's much, much less than what he has. He believes that it's my own fault for never doing what he did to gain money, and that's that. Where it's really reared its head is we have a baby boy who is now 10 months old. I really wanted to take a full year's maternity, but had not saved enough. I asked him if he could fund the last few months, as it would have been about 2% of his overall savings, but I've spent all of mine paying the bills during maternity. He declined and said it's my own fault for not having that money, and he does not see why I feel entitled to it, then bought a Rolex a week later. Yeah. I want to make it clear. I don't want his money for any personal gain, but to support our son, as I want to give him the best possible life. I've tried to explain I've actually put my career on hold for 18 months whilst pregnant and then on maternity leave and forfeited my bonus this year. I've also spent all of my savings on bills so I could be home with my son. He doesn't seem bothered that now I'm struggling for money and he's not. How can I make him see that we should be financially secure as a family and I shouldn't be worried sick about money when he has plenty?
So let's not read the update yet.
Okay.
All right. First of all, wow. You let this man skeet up inside you.
Oh my gosh.
Y'all got a whole kid together. Apparently he makes a lot more money. She doesn't say how much, but
he has several streams of income.
And it sounds like she has a pretty good paying job herself. And it doesn't say it here, but I believe that they live a luxurious lifestyle, meaning they're not an average earning couple.
However, I look at things and I'm like, if y'all are a couple, if y'all are together, y'all have a kid together, why are you struggling to pay your bills? Because you took maternity leave and he is not helping.
Mm-hmm. Right there.
That pitney is y'all's.
Yep, that is y'all's kid together. And it doesn't sound like they're married. It says fiance.
Engaged, yeah.
All right. And y'all chose to lay down together, which can happen. Voila. 9 to 10 months later, when a kid's here, and you didn't decide to communicate that. This is what I talk about. A lot of things that is wrong with today's society is bad planning. I'm guilty of it. Let me not say this as, I'm higher than thee. No, I am guilty of bad family planning myself. But I was able to pivot out from it and build a better life going forward, right? So now she's trying to react to a decision that she, made with somebody who she's supposed to be getting married to. Mm-hmm. And she doesn't feel right that her taking this, and taking the extra time off, I've got an issue with that. Get your butt back to work.
Here's the thing. I'm not a mother. I'm not married. But I think I have seen a lot, especially in education, that some women, after they give birth, they don't want to come back. Like, part of their postpartum depression is that they want to stay with their child. They don't want to leave their child. So for some people, it is very difficult to get back to work after having a child.
I'm going to ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
And to the ladies that are out there, I am not being heartless when I ask this. What's postpartum depression?
So essentially, it basically means that you enter into a state of depression after giving birth.
Why?
Various reasons. So number one, especially if this is like a person's first child, when a woman gives birth, people tend to fawn over the child, and the mother is kind of like left on the outside. Like, picture that grandmother who, like, this is her first grandchild, and she's coming over to help, and she like runs to the baby and is just like, oh, whatever to the mom, but give me the baby, give me my grandbaby, give me my grandbaby. So that's part of like what can lead to postpartum depression. Feelings of adjusting. Oh, sorry. Feelings of adjusting to everything as it pertains to motherhood, and the, incessant crying that can sometimes come with being a mother. All of that can lead to a woman feeling levels of depression after giving birth. Inadequacy. Some have like fears, whether irrational or rational, after having given birth. Like, there's a lot of things that can come. It's also a surge of emotions that are now running through you, or your body adjusting to the lack of some of those emotions. I'd have to Google more of it because, again, it's not something I've ever experienced.
Okay. Yikes.
Yeah.
I'm glad I got a Y chromosome. Are you ready for the update?
Camera.
Oh, well, it's only like that because of how it's split. But once we go, look.
Oh, excuse me.
You okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, like, once it's normal, this is how it looks.
Okay, perfect.
All right. So, are you ready for the update?
I am. Update. Wow, I didn't expect this response, and it's taken me a while to get through them. Thank you, firstly, for the love and support from some of you. There's a lot of people questioning why I even had his child, low key, so worry. As valid as a point that is, it's not helpful. We did discuss finances before, and he said that our son would never go without. I just didn't realize that meant if I couldn't afford half, we just get a second hand or at a charity shop. Perhaps I should have asked for more details in that initial chat. Lastly, it looks like it's time for me to find a solicitor. So this is definitely a UK posting. Solicitor is a lawyer, for those who don't know, and discuss my next steps. Thanks again. I guess sometimes you don't realize how wrong a situation is when you're deep in it.
18 years. 18 years.
That one of your kids got you for 18 years.
Oh, men, you have to understand this. What just happened isn't new. Why are people in 2024 still going through this?
Well, that's in the UK. That is definitely UK language.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I mean, I guess you could tell by the whilst.
Man, wow. Hey, she got you. I'm not saying that what she did was intentional, but she got you. Sucks to be you, bruh. Let's see. Since we're coming up on Christmas, let's do this one. It's entitled I 27-year-old female, am not invited to spend Christmas with my boyfriend's family who's 34. Thoughts. I'm going to bring it up on the screen, baby, and let you read this one.
Thank you.
Oh, but while I do,
yeah,
I saw that. Let me go back and see what this comment is. All right. Okay. Free T asked some questions, and let's bring them up on the screen. Said, why our bodies just went through trauma in all capital letters from bringing a human into the world. Your body is forever changed. Your hormones are forever changed. Everything is forever change. And then she added in parentheses, so I hear.
Right, sis? So I hear.
Then she said, Michelle, do the period and birth simulation for King. I think I
thought about it.
No.
I really did.
Like, is that where you have the thing
the
on
empathy
your
belt one and stuff like that to be able to get this simulations of having your cycle?
I've done that.
When was the last time you did that?
When before my daughter was born.
Oh, you should do it again now that she has her cycle.
Nope, not at all. Why would I subject myself through that again?
Because sometimes men just need that reminder. Like you say, why would you subject yourself to that again? We go through it every month. We go through it for like 7 days every month, and we're always deemed lesser than, weaker than. But if y'all had to go through that every single month like clockwork, nah, man, like it's a lot that goes into it. You, my friends, my love, my honey, you are very blessed that I have very, very, very mild symptoms when my cycle is coming.
You should be very blessed that you have very, very mild symptoms.
Because I don't go through all that cramping and everything like that. My cycle is normally like 3 to 4 days. It's only like one day where it's a little bit much. Do I get emotional? I do. But you're not always around for all that emotion. Like you don't catch all of it. But yeah, nah, like the excruciating pain and all that stuff, I don't get that anymore. Either I don't get it or I don't feel it anymore because it's been decades since I've had my cycle. But nah, you like, I did it once, I should be good. Nah, homie, we do it every single month. Some women are on like constant flow for like 7-8 days. Man, I can't imagine that. And I experienced a flow. I can't imagine being on no flow for nobody 7 days.
Free T said, do it live and let us see what level you can get to. Not a bad idea.
I am for it.
Write that one down because I am curious. So, not a bad idea, Free T. I just might because I like a challenge. All right. So, we'll read this one since it's talking about the holidays and, people are seeking advice for stuff around the holidays as well. Michelle?
All right, I, 27-year-old female, am not invited to spend Christmas with boyfriend who is 34-year-old male's family. Thought. For context, my boyfriend and I have been dating for 2 years and have been living together for 4 months. All of my family lives in the UK. It's so expensive for me to fly over to see them during the holidays. When I brought up holiday plans to my boyfriend, he told me I am only allowed to come to Christmas dinner and that Christmas morning is reserved for immediate family. Christmas has always been a big deal for me, and I see it as a way to bring people together and would never imagine excluding anyone. He told me it's only ever been the 5 of them for Christmas morning and that it'll upset his sister and mom to change the dynamic. I'm very hurt by this because I feel like they don't view me as family like I view them, and they know I'll be alone on Christmas. My boyfriend thinks I'm making a big deal out of it and said that things would change when we get engaged, had kids, but I don't think it should matter. I can't decide if I'm overreacting or if it's a big deal.
Ooh.
So my math-oriented mind is like, if y'all have been together for over 2 years, that means that this is not your first Christmas together. What did y'all do those at least 1 or 2 Christmases before? Where were y'all? Because if, again, you're posting from this perspective now, but if he did that, like, let's say y'all were a bird month couple, right? So we were a bird month couple. So while we're only at 2 years of being in a relationship, we're coming up on our 3rd Christmas together. So if y'all were a bird month, you're coming up on like your 3rd Christmas together. What did y'all do those first 2 Christmases? I get it that now y'all are a couple living together, but what did y'all do those first 2 Christmases? Because most likely this isn't new. Like, he doesn't just wake up this year and now that y'all are living together, he's like, yeah, no, it's a family thing. I'm not bringing you. Where was he the first 2? Or is it because you went home those first 1 or 2 Christmases that you didn't notice that? This is something y'all should have been having a conversation about long before.
Good catch.
Long before. Like, when you and I got together, one of the things we sat and mapped out is what holidays were going to look like for us, how we were going to set our own rhythms. Like you had said, you didn't really do anything for the holiday season.
Correct.
And I had said that I was typically with family unhappy somewhere. So I wanted to create my own routine, my own new normal with you. Like I was very, very, very intentional about that. Our first Christmas together, we stayed in Virginia and we chilled. We did nothing. We got a couples massage
That was a good
before,
time.
and then we lounged out in the hotel. The day of Christmas, we went and had like in-person dinner or got food from like a restaurant. The hotel was beautiful but empty because there wasn't a lot of people in there for Christmas. Like we just relaxed. Last year for Christmas, we went to Niagara Falls. Like we went up to Canada. We just relaxed again. Well, that wasn't really relaxing, but we did something. And this year we're doing something. Our main goal for Christmas was that it was us together.
And it was keyword in all this. We communicated this.
Exactly.
Right? So with what she's trying to accomplish, she says she feels like she's being excluded because her fiance does a Christmas morning
boyfriend,
tradition.
Not fiance.
Boyfriend, I'm sorry. Ooh, okay, keyword. Look, you're not entitled to anything, right? If you feel left out, then you know what? I don't blame you for feeling left out. If anything, she said, my boyfriend thinks I'm making a big deal out of it and said that things would change once we get engaged and have kids. There was some other part right here. He told me that it's only been the 5 of them Christmas morning and that it'll upset his sister and mom to change the dynamic. But did he have this conversation with his sister and his mom? I don't think it's wrong of her to ask him and say, hey, I know that y'all have this dynamic, right? I would like to be a part of it. Can you ask them? Now, if he's unilaterally making the decision without really bringing it up to the other people involved, I think he's wrong. It should be, hey, y'all know Amber, right? So Amber's in town for Christmas and she wants to come and spend it with us. Thoughts? And then see what they say. Now, if the family still excludes her, Amber's got to accept that.
So which I say my math ain't mathin', or this math ain't mathin'. So it's him, it's his sister, and it's his mom, but it's only ever been the 5 of them. So who are the other 2 people? Let's assume
That's
it's a
question.
dad, but then you say it's only ever been the 5 of them, which means maybe sister has a partner or something. So at some point, it wasn't just that. Again, I go back to the person who originally wrote this. What did y'all do those first 1 or 2 Christmases together? And that's what you need to hold on to. Again, King and I, we set the groundwork that Christmas is for us. Well, the holidays are for us. We're going to spend them together. These are things we communicate. And because I have a whole bunch of D's, like a whole bunch of whatever, I ask these questions well in advance. Like I ask these questions before the birth months even come into consideration. Like, hey, what are we doing for Christmas? What are we doing for Thanksgiving? What are we doing for New Year? For the New Year? Because I'm a planner. I like to have these things organized. What you're not going to do is spring something on me the last minute, like, oh, it's Christmas and I know we don't have any plans, but let's do X, Y, and Z. No, I'm a planner. I like to know things and have that going.
This doesn't seem that long. Let's see.
I have to work tomorrow, sir.
Okay. Well, we are at that time.
Because you up here, because Mr. Doctor's appointment.
I didn't think that this was going to be, man, I put way too
You
many
put
up
a
here.
lot in there. Like, did you really think we were going to do all that tonight?
No.
Yes.
No. I wanted some extra just in case.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Pete. Pete said that one of his homies got 3 girls plus a wife. When will he ever get a break? God help him. Oh man, I would not. Hey, so is it true that
our
people can be synced?
Our cycle sync. When you live with when 2 women live together, if they're both still on their cycle, they sync. And if one of those women is on birth control and the other one is not, the woman on birth control, her cycle is regulated by the birth control, and the woman who's not on birth control, her cycle will sync to the one who is on birth control. Trust me, I know.
A ladies basketball coach said that. A college women's basketball coach said that when teams come together and they start gelling and whatnot, that they all will be on the same cycle. That's insane to me.
It's science. And so flashing back to college, when I lived on Bowie's campus for those 2 years, I did get on birth control, probably like December of my freshman year. And I think I was one of 2 women out of the 10 in our dorms who was on birth control. Everybody's cycle started to sync to ours. So
wow.
in our dorm suite, it was like 2 of us who were on birth control. Our cycles, like if our cycles weren't already aligned, me and that other person who were on it, they weren't going to be because our birth control was regulating our cycle, but everyone else was going to sync to us.
Yikes. Okay. Well, y'all, look, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate those that tuned in live. To those of y'all that are going to watch on the replay, thank you. Y'all, look, this is awesome. When we started this, we weren't quite sure the direction on how it would go, but we just knew that we wanted to do it, right? Part of why this is important to us is that it does give us time to communicate, see what we're thinking about, right? Have these conversations where we're learning about each other, and hopefully we can share something that maybe offers some value or insight to other people.
Yeah.
As y'all see, people online and on Reddit, sometimes people don't have good mentors or good people to go to bounce stuff off of without being inside of an echo chamber. Like there's a couple of people that I know that I could go to that they won't be an echo chamber. They will offer me constructive, valuable feedback, and it's up for me to listen, get out my own way, and listen to what they're saying. And I'm thankful for that. I got homies that I know just aren't going to agree with me because we homies. So if you don't have anybody like that in your life, then where do you go? Most people are turning to online.
Hey, I mean, like, do what you got to do, but just be smart about things. Like, look at it this way. For some things, if you have to go online and ask the advice, you already know the answer. Go with that inner thought. Like, y'all know that was jacked up.
All right. So thank y'all for tuning in. I did have a video to play. It's short. We're not going to play it, but Michelle, I want us to record our thoughts to
all right, let's go. And
the episode Suffering on Hulu. I sent you the
let's
thing.
Record it.
Not now. We're not gonna do it now because you gotta go and I got stuff to do. But we're gonna do it this week.
But we're both forgetful.
And put it out by this weekend. I'm not going to forget this, trust me. There's a reason why I want us to do it later. It gives us a reason to see each other later on in the week. See, listen to me. Trust in your man. Believe in me that I got you, babe. Okay? Can you do this?
Yeah.
We love y'all. Thanks for tuning in. We out. Peace.
Bye.
See y'all. Oh, as soon as I find the video, and we out.